Yeah.
Snap and clap.
The note.
My boy Ish wanted that. That was
Get the snap.
That was a request from the
Right into
people.
the clap.
Come on.
Snap and clap. Sound like a cereal, doesn't it?
It's so nice. We're gonna get that one branded. By the way, Danny Green is here. You were here in the preseason, but officially now,
Yeah.
1-0
Not a rookie anymore.
in the regular season. By the way, on a night where we saw the Dodgers force a beautiful Game 7 in the World Series with their victory, the Lakers go to 2-0 on this road trip, 3-0 on the road, 4-2 for the season. They had a great second half.
1-0 in cup games.
1-0 in cup games.
There you
Thank
go.
you, Danny Green.
Yeah.
The second half, they completely turned around. They were plus 19. The defense tightened up. The three ball started to fall, a season-high 13. And the return of Luka Doncic and Marcus Smart, just what they needed. Just provided that extra spark. Big game. And the Lakers look good.
Yeah, it's good to see a team that can handle, pressure and can overcome a deficit and keep their calm and cool and stay on point. And I thought the third quarter, after they went down, I thought that's what they did in the third. The defensive pressure picked up. Marcus Smart, once again, it's just one dive that he did, just kind of turned the defense up a little bit, and I think that's what got them going. Then they started to knock down the three. Luka started distributing the basketball, and they got, again, some good role players. Jake, once again. I thought Marcus Smart coming in, the way he was poised, making some good passes, just kept them under control, and they were able to get back in, and after that, they were able to keep the lead. It's a good win on the road.
I want to give a lot of credit to Jackson Hayes.
Yes.
Stepping up big. DeAndre Ayton, we didn't know what was going on. He didn't come out in the second half, didn't play much in the second half. But he came in, filled that void, and brought energy. We know that the biggest weakness for the Lakers in the last couple of years now has been the third quarter. For them to come in, focus, come out in that second half, having a rough second quarter, and kind of flipping the script and have a totally different story, in the whole second half, and then playing better basketball. That third quarter, which got them back into the game, and then from there they kind of just kept coasting and playing well. But again, Jackson Hayes brought the energy, but Jake LaRavia played well off the bench. Marcus Smart giving them energy plays. They did all the little things, and of course it was led by Luka, and then AR got a little rhythm in that second half as well. Got a couple to free throw line, a couple of threes to drop. Ended up with his 21, and for today's NBA, I would say low scoring game, but average scoring game.
We'll take it.
But we'll take it. It was a good night for them. And get 117, without some guys still missing, in the lineup.
So JJ called him out after that first game to the media about their third quarter.
Yeah.
I know it's only 6 games, but 4 out of the next 5, they've been great in the third outside of that Portland game. So it's nice to see the Lakers coming out of the break with that sense of urgency.
Yeah.
And that was a huge third quarter. They were plus 12 in that third. But we got to start with Luka, guys. Listen, James, this is crazy. Luka Doncic is only the second player in NBA history. The other one was Wilt Chamberlain to start his season first 3 games with 40-plus points. He went for 45, and like Danny said, it was kind of with ease, getting to his spots, scoring when he wanted to. He also had a season-high 12 rebounds and 6 assists.
Yeah, to be mentioned with Wilt and some of those numbers is amazing. But Luka just does it in style. He does it very easily. To me, he never gets to third or fourth gear. He's always in second gear. But Geeter has had so much in his toolbox, and when he realizes that, offensive players they can sense when a defensive player really doesn't have a clue, and I think he's so good at taking advantage of that. He's such a smart, intelligent player.
I want to also give some credit to Rui. Rui, even though he didn't get a lot of attempts, he was hustling and rebounding. He got on the board, and it was a big turning point. We knocked down that 1-3.
Yeah.
That kind of put them up 10. We just needed one. And, he didn't take many shots, but he was 2 for 4 for 3. I think he's shooting a pretty high clip from 3 so far to start the season. If he can continue to do that, would love to see him more aggressive, but he made the winning plays down the stretch that we needed him to do, and it was huge.
It's funny, Dana, I asked you in the pregame show, going back to Luka real quick, that, what do you expect? Minutes restriction? Is he going to be a little less maybe attack? Is he going to let the other guys? Listen, he came out a little bit facilitator and then said, okay, I'm going to start cooking. And he's just the same Luka.
Yeah. And he had 44. He came out, facilitated a little bit. Then he's like, all right, we're not making enough shots. I need to be aggressive. I need to get to the free throw line. And then second half, they really picked it up and got in the right path, right direction, offensively and defensively.
So I'm glad you mentioned Jackson Hayes because for most of the game he was plus 20. He ended up at plus 15 because of those last 5 points that they scored. But he was phenomenal in the absence of DeAndre Ayton. Hopefully we'll find out more there. Jake LaRavia as well. The 13 points, the 5 rebounds, the confidence, just on 8 shots as well. He had 2 steals in that first half that I thought were crucial. But big game, I want to talk about Marcus Smart. We have mentioned his impact a lot in the preseason, what we were hoping to see from him because he had to ramp up and we didn't see him much. We saw him that one game against Sacramento. It was on a Friday night, the last preseason game, and you're like, that's the guy we want. Okay, follow that up. First couple of games, he was great. And then he had a few games where he missed, but now he's back and immediately into that starting lineup. He's a plus 12, just getting it done, James. 12 points, 5 of 8, 1 for 4 from 3. He had the 4 assists, 3 rebounds, a couple of steals. He just does it all.
Yeah, the full plate.
Yes.
You just can't teach experience. And I don't have to make too many comparisons. When you think about what Chris, he just understands how to play the game and he never panics. So when he's on the floor, you feel that calmness. If you're a teammate of his, he keeps you calm. But his tenacity, his effort, his defensive prowess that he loves, and he can score. He went to the cup a couple times, little floaters when we needed a bucket. Just a treat to have him. We've had one other player from the Celtics that I welcomed. It was a Tar Heel, though. Rick Fox.
Rick Fox. Took you a while.
Yeah, and Rondo was good. When they come over and they behave, we like them.
Yeah. I mean, even the play where he had an open 3 at the top of the key in the first half, and he sees DeAndre Ayton with a mismatch on the seal, just dumped it right into him. Danny, I'm sure you played with those types of guys that they understand scenarios, situations, they bring that dog, that tenacity, and they're just winners.
And that was one thing he brought to the Celtics. And he was trying to get Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, taking those young guys under his wing when he was there and get them to understand that. But, he's just one of those guys, you talk about his tenacity. He's always been a stat sheet stuffer to me. A risk taker, but he's matured in his tenure. So, usually you would get more bad plays, but he's getting a lot more, not saying more bad plays than good. He'd always give you more good than bad. But tonight he's giving you way more good plays, way more high IQ, less risk-taking plays where he feeds DeAndre and feed the big man. But yes, he's always been a guy that he's going to give you some rebounds. He might get a foul, 2 offensive foul. He might get a illegal screen or flagrant, but he's going to give you way more good than bad, and he's going to do it in Marcus Smart fashion.
By the way, on a night where he didn't have to take it off because he played 36 minutes, but he allowed everyone else to do something, Austin Reeves, and he had a poor shooting in it, he still ends up with 21.
Yeah.
21 in his sleep now. Time to hear from Coach J.J. Redick, brought to you by your Toyota dealers.
Second quarter, and it seemed like things got reignited to start the third.
I didn't raise my voice. At least I don't think I did. But it wasn't clean. Not safe for work. But if I had to summarize it, we didn't start the game playing hard. Then we did. We built an 8-point lead. And then they went on a 33-11 run, primarily with 5 guys on the court that just played harder than us. So we challenged them at halftime, and just like watching 2 different teams, And we had a good stretch in the first half where I thought we did a lot of the things. We had a really physical green on Jaren Jackson Jr. that resulted in a turnover. Had some good moments for middle of the first quarter to middle of the second quarter, and then it was like we're like zombies.
DeAndre obviously didn't come out to start the third quarter. It sounded like he's a little tight with the back.
He just had some middle back spasms. He was available in the fourth quarter when he came back out. He had a heat back on, but just felt like it wasn't worth it given that group, with Jackson and Vando at the 5, we rotating between that and the second half. They were really good and just didn't want to risk it with him.
This is weird with him sitting back there, but I think Luka tonight became just the second player ever to start the season with 3 straight 40-point games, first since 1962. Just what are you seeing offensively right now with how comfortable he is?
Congrats. That's awesome. Yeah. Wilt
Chamberlain.
Wilt, I figured. Wilt's got all the records.
7 times and 5 times.
He averaged like 50 that year.
Yeah. No, he just continues to get where he wants to go, and he takes what the defense gives him. And The one thing I think we can be a little bit better at tonight was just, we had a lot of opportunities to create 4-on-3s, and whether it was spacing or timing, we did an okay job, but we didn't do a great job. I thought Jackson, when he did get in the pick and roll, made some really nice plays, some really nice catches in traffic. Got DK a corner 3 in the first half. Jackson overall, just to kind of 45 seconds before the half starts, and he, hey Jackson, you're going to start the second half. DA's not ready, and then I don't even know what his stats are, but he played great and ended up being a plus 15. He was awesome in the second half, and I think for Luka, just his comfort level with what we're doing, with our play calling. There was a couple plays tonight where he wanted something. We got good stuff out of that. So, he seems very comfortable out there.
Obviously, by his net scoring for the game, he's going to score every quarter, but Luka also leads the league in first quarter scoring. How has that been a beneficiary to you guys through the 3 games that he's played?
It's been great because when our defense sucks in the first quarter, we have a chance to actually be in the game.
JJ, you get Marcus back as well. What do you think he brought to that starting unit, especially coming out?
He was great tonight. The main point about physicality, I think he, along with a couple other guys, but with that group, he's got to be the leader of the physicality. He's got to set the tone, and there were a lot of moments tonight where he did that, and it made a big difference. And then he just played really good on the offensive end and made some timely shots for us.
JJ, I think you've mentioned playing hard as the sentiment pretty much, I think, every game.
There's a theme to this.
I've noticed. How much do you feel like that just needs to be emphasized? Do you feel like that needs to be a season-long trend in terms of that being emphasized? And are there players you can lean on to make sure that is more consistent?
Well, for the players, yeah, they for the most part, 6 games in, have been great about communicating that to each other and acknowledging when they're not. And we had a huddle during the first quarter where I got back to it, and that's what they were saying to each other. Hey guys, we got to pick it up. We got to play harder. I don't know that it has to be a daily thing. I think that you do need reminders, and for this group, we have those reference points, but for this group and for the guys who were on the team last year, they know what it is. They know what it feels like. They know what it sounds like. There's young guys in the league that don't know yet what it means to play hard, but these guys do, and they know the benefits of it. To go from down 14 to a double-digit lead in the second half on the road, that doesn't happen by accident. That doesn't happen out of luck or makes and misses. It happens because you're playing harder than the other team.
Thanks, Coach. We didn't know much about it at all. DeAndre Ayton did not come back out there. No one saw him for the entire third quarter, so you're just kind of speculating what you think. Heard he was getting worked on. He did show up to the bench. He was available, they thought, but the back spasms, I guess, big game. But listen, he's been great. 9 points in just 17 minutes on 4 of 6. He didn't have any rebounds, but you just want him to be okay because he's getting more and more comfortable with this team.
A little bit.
Yeah, you don't want to mess around with the back. That's an issue you don't want to have. And it's only, game 6 of the season, so it's smart to, pace yourself, especially with all the bodies you've had out already to this point. So it's like we want to keep our reserves because there was a game we didn't have anybody. Marcus Smart was out, Jackson Hayes was out, Luka, Bron, everybody. So you got to make sure your reserves stay healthy.
Something Rob and JJ talked about in September before the season even started was the depth they tried to build for this team. We are seeing it on display here in these first 6 games with multiple guys out. Jackson Hayes steps into that role. He did it last year as well. He did a phenomenal job. Reminder, next.
Hey, Luka, we know you obviously missed the last couple of games, the finger and the leg contusion. Can you just take us through the week, how you recovered, if you kind of felt better and were able to fly out and play, and how that went for you?
Yeah, at the beginning we probably didn't think I was going to play Friday, but after getting everyday treatment, everyday working, I felt way better. So we decided we flew out here, we see how I feel, and then if I'm good to go, I'll play.
obviously from your output, right, didn't look like you were nursing too just with being able to score 40 again. Mentioned the stat, Wilt Chamberlain, back in the 60s, is the only other player to start like that. Jordan and AD had done it for 2 games, but just what kind of rhythm are you in? How are you feeling like the buckets are coming? And what does that level of efficiency mean for you?
I mean, I feel great, but obviously if we get a win, I feel even better. So that's the whole point, trying to help the team to win. Sometimes it's going to be due by scoring, sometimes other things. So, we just got to see what the defense gives us every game. Every team's going to play differently to us, and just trying to figure out how to win the game.
Luka, while you were hurt, Austin had a 51-point game, 40-point game. You still have LeBron James, the league's all-time leading scorer, yet to play. What do you think the offensive ceiling is for this team? How good can this group be when it comes to scoring the basketball?
It can be way better. The way Austin played when I was out. Obviously today he didn't want to shoot the ball. I don't know why. I told him. We got LeBron coming back. Obviously, I don't know when, but we have. I feel like we have a lot of improvement left in the offense. But all this is nothing if we're not gonna get stops. Like the first half today, I think we play very bad. No energy, and it starts with me. So first of all, we gotta be better on defense to start the half, and then just play like the second half.
A couple for you. The lower left leg injury, when did it happen? And obviously when you came here, you had the left calf thing. Is it any associated with that at all?
Yeah, I got hit. Just hit, in the lower leg. It happened in the second quarter. We found the hit, so, it was just because of that. And then my fingers, it was like second play of the game, which still hurts, but it's my left hand, so I don't use it that much.
And obviously, we brought up the Wilt stat. It's also, you're the first Laker to average 45 for 3 straight games since Kobe back in 2007. Is there a number, is 40 points per game a sustainable goal for you, number for you?
That's gonna be tough. I don't know. But like I say, sometimes they're gonna double me more. Sometimes I won't be able to score that much. Obviously I had some pretty, I think 3-4 shots. That was crazy shot that I felt like doing, but they were terrible shot. So I gotta, like I said before, I gotta work on that. But that's tough. I don't know. Austin's stupid.
We're in the room for this, but Jay was talking about Jackson and the reads he was able to make out of the pick and roll. Just where have you kind of seen your guys' whether you want to say chemistry or synergy build off of last season after you played alongside him so much down the stretch?
I told Jackson, the way he came out in the third quarter was unbelievable. I told him, we were up because of you. You did all the little things that you need to do, and you did great. So, props to Jackson. He played an amazing game, I would say. But then Marcus, Jake, everybody, was locked in, especially in the second half. JJ talked to us about in the halftime that we need to be more physical, and that's what we did.
Luka, you mentioned Jake. He had a great game on Wednesday, heating up a little bit offensively. Just how important do you think he can be to this team as the season progresses?
Oh, he will be very important. Obviously, it's going to be we'll win 5 games in, 6 games. So it's going to be, more time. So I think he's getting more comfortable. So I think he will be very, very important for us.
Well, Austin, pretty clearly Luka was watching you, go off from home, and he decided to come back and steal your spotlight, right?
I'm happy he did. It was good. It was good to see him back out there and playing. Look good. Looked like he didn't miss any time. Everybody knows how good he is. If he was trying to be me, I don't know. Probably not. He's probably a little better than me, but it was good to see.
Yeah, it was being facetious, obviously, but you did say that while you were you could clearly handle the weight, you were eager for anyone to come back. Marcus Smart also joins, but just focusing on Luka, that's 3 games, all 40 plus, and it just seems like it's coming very easily. And I know you've seen that before. It probably doesn't surprise you that much, but what have you seen kind of playing next to him, and if there's even a little difference from last season?
No, I mean, I think it's just the pace that he plays with. He's always been able to get to his spots. He honestly has a weird shot where it's hard to contest without fouling. Like, you can get your hand up, but you're not really contesting. But if you try to contest a little more, you foul him. So it's difficult in that sense. And then his ability to pass the ball is obviously very high, so you have to respect that. And, obviously he's in a good rhythm, and hopefully he continues to do that.
This game, it seemed clear that you guys let your foot off the gas a little bit in the first half as a team, as Memphis kind of went on that run. What was the adjustment at halftime, and how did you guys get control back in the third quarter?
It was all about playing hard, coming out with some intensity the second quarter. I think JJ said they went on like a 33-10 run or 11. You just can't let that happen, but I mean, it's basketball. It's going to happen, even though if you talk about it over and over again, you're going to have situations like that. But to be able to get into half, look at what we were doing wrong, bounce back, shows that we're growing as a team.
Last one for you. JJ hinted that before the game, like in talking to him, you could play almost as Luka says.
Tell him what I said.
You too.
Thank you for doing your job today.
You're stupid.
That's what I said.
What did you want us to tell him, Luka? Oh, okay. That's not very nice.
Sorry, English is my fourth language.
Sorry. Way to do your job today.
You're right. We see the dynamic kind of brotherly, giving each other a hard time. Is that at all similar to you and the way you and Spencer would go at each other?
I think I might not like him as much as I like my brother. There was an age gap from like 7 to like 15 where I could not stand my brother. He would beat me in everything we did, and he never let me off the hook in anything. So I grew up with a little bit of hatred towards him, but I definitely like him more than I like Luka for sure. There's some love for my brother. I don't know if there's love for Luka.
They're a funny group there, Big Game. You could tell that friendship. Right? Yeah. They really are like stepbrothers. I mean, he called him stupid because he wants him to shoot more, and AR thanked him for taking care of it tonight. But you could just tell the chemistry. You could tell pretty much right away last year, James, but it's only gotten better.
Don't play my drums, man. You're going to make me go home and watch that movie. Yeah, I mean, it's just good to see chemistry created. When you have a locker room of guys that like each other, you can pretty much overcome anything. And they seem to like each other. Whether they win or lose, they seem to be able to connect, overcome, and get back on track. It's just good to see that they connect, playing together. The Reeves can take over a game when Luka is out. And when Luka comes back, it's good to see that he can adjust and still produce. It's just good chemistry there.
Yeah, man. Brendan and Dale, it's always good to see them perform.
Right.
Carolina White Mix. But no, I think Austin really just needed a night. Because he's been carrying the load for a long time. And the last couple of nights, 4 straight games, he's like, all right, he probably took a backseat to just relax, hopefully get refreshed because they got a nice little schedule ahead. Portland is in a tough one right now with Denver, and then you got Miami, who's been balling. So Spurs coming in, so you're going to need a fresh Austin Reeves for those next couple of games.
Danny, great players don't always have great chemistry and connect. Yeah. How much credit do you give Austin Reeves, or what does it say about him that he can kind of connect with? He and LeBron have such great chemistry.
He is the glue. He's a chameleon. So it's not easy because even as a role.
And welcome back. Lakers get the win, 117-112. Jake LaRavia backed up that 27-point performance with 13 tonight on 5 of 8. He's speaking with the media.
Jake, you spoke to us on the broadcast after the first quarter, and then in the second quarter, Memphis made kind of a push. JJ hinted that he didn't like the overall energy and effort of the group. Clearly, you guys fixed that in the third quarter. What was the key just to doing that, and how were you able to lock in like that as a team?
Yeah, I mean, as you know, in the past, we struggle with the third quarters. So in a locker room, we really just talked about coming out and just being a more physical team, setting tone. Just being tougher out there so that, calls can go our way, stuff like that. And I think we did just that. We set the tone. We came out in the third quarter, made a good little run, got a good amount of stops, and, ended up coming out with the win.
Double figures for you, and efficiently so. But you watch Luka; he gets over 40 for his third straight time after kind of witnessing what Austin was doing. What has it been like, kind of complimenting those guys, playing off them, and seeing the rhythm that they're both in?
honestly, sometimes it's hard playing with Luka because he'll do a move that's so crazy, and I want to react while I'm on the court, and I can't because I got to get back on defense. But it's so fun watching them play. Like, they're such talented players, AR and Luka. They lead the team every time we step out there on the court. They offensively, I mean, they're just a force. It's really tough to guard them. And Luka obviously came out here tonight and, played fantastic. He had 44, 11, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. Like, he did everything. Austin obviously doing his thing yet again. But yeah, it's really just a blessing to be able to share the court with those guys.
Does it almost seem like it was an easy 44, if that makes sense?
Every time he scores, like, I'm on the bench a lot of times, and I was even talking with Brownie on the bench today, and it's just like, you look up at the scoreboard and it's like, oh, like Luka has 27, or like, oh, now he has 38, oh, now he has 40. Like, he just scores, and he makes it look so easy that it's just like, it's natural to him.
Yeah.
I guess Luka's joined just Wilt alone as the only guys to score 40-point games start the season. Just what can you even put into words what you've seen from him to start this year?
Fantasticness. Nah, man, it's been great to watch. First game, he does what he does. Then he comes and get injured, and then he comes back off of injury and does it again. That just shows who he is. The will he has to go out there and put on the show every night, and he's real good at it. So it's been fun for me to watch.
Do you think it's possible for not just Luka but any player to average 40 in the NBA in this day and age?
Yeah, if you get the opportunity, all you need is opportunity. What people don't understand is it's a lot of great scorers. There's a lot of people that can do a lot of things out here, but they don't have the opportunity as other people. So they get put in a box, or they get put in a responsibility or duty that the team only wants them to do, and no matter what they do, they can't break out of it. So unfortunately, you got to play the game within the game. But yeah, there's definitely players in this league, a lot more that can on any given night do what Luka's doing. But to see him do it the way he's doing it consistently, that's incredible.
Do you think that opportunity would manifest here in LA this year for Luka?
For sure. I don't see why not. I mean, he has a lot of help on the wings for him, and guys that are coming in, guys that are rolling. So we do a good job of trying to make his job easier, so he can do those things and help this team win.
Wait, did Danny Green just leave Nikola Jokic off his top 3 players list? The 3-time NBA champion says Jokic doesn't even make the cut, and fans are losing it. Welcome back to NBA News 24, where we bring you the hottest stories around the league. Today, we're talking about Danny Green's shocking top 3 list, and why Nikola Jokic, arguably the best player in the world, was left out completely. Let's break it down. On the latest episode of the No Fouls Given podcast, Danny Green and Paul Pierce shared their lists of the top 3 players in the NBA right now. Green's list: Giannis Antetokounmpo, Victor Wembanyama, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That's right, no Nikola Jokic. Paul Pierce, on the other hand, had Wemby, SGA, and Jokic, leaving out Giannis instead. Green said, Wemby is scoring 30, playing both ends. Giannis is dominating. SGA is unstoppable, so I'm leaving Jokic out. Here's the crazy part. Jokic is averaging a triple-double to start the 2025-26 season. 20.3 points, 14.5 rebounds, and 11.3 assists per game. He's the 3rd player in NBA history to open a season with 4 straight triple-doubles. But Green's argument, Jokic isn't scoring as much as before his 29.6 PPG from last season is down to 20.3 because he's taking a back seat and focusing on playmaking. Still, you can't deny the competition. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has the Thunder at 6-0, averaging 34.2 points a game. Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs are 5-0, and he's putting up monster numbers: 30.2 points, 14.6 rebounds, and 4.8 blocks per game. And Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's averaging 36 points on nearly 70% shooting, leading a 4-1 Bucks squad almost by himself. So, does Green have a point? Maybe he's looking at current impact, not overall dominance. But leaving out a 3-time MVP who's still leading his team to wins, that's bold and maybe a little disrespectful. One thing's for sure, when Jokic faces off against Wemby, SGA, or Giannis later this season, the intensity will be unreal. So, what do you think? Does Danny Green's list make sense, or is this just wild disrespect toward Jokic? Drop your top 3 players in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more NBA news updates, only here on NBA News 24.